So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Tzayelic lineage, so then we can understand the time of the end as per the Yeshayahu the prophet. We find then layers of understanding in the 61st chapter related with the spring feast, related with the autumn feast, and these holy mikras, the holy feasts. Obviously the Messiah was very acquainted with them. He explained then the completion of the spring feast as he was living through it. Then also he was explaining in the 24th chapter of the first recording of the spring feast related with the time of the end. He did mention regarding then the time of reduction. So then his people would continue with tabernacling. So let's understand what goes on in the world these days. Firstly, we find then the time is Soviet time. We understand there are a couple of layers. Layers of related with tabernacling. Tabernacling then in itself has multi-layers of understanding through times and seasons. Generation after generation after generation. Then the layer of the Gentiles, also multi-layered. At the moment, Gentile level, we are then in Soviet time. Why Soviet time? Because the forward motion regarding then the base of the statue from the first, second, and third kingdoms is obviously granted to the Soviet Union. Why? Why do we find this so clearly? Observe then the 11th chapter of Daniel. You have the relationship with the kingdom of the north and the kingdom of the south. The kingdom of the south is not yet organized. The kingdom of the east is extremely organized. Then we find a layer of understanding of the kingdom of the east as the dragon. Then you find Daniel chapter 13. It is then the understanding, the spiritual understanding of Baal and the dragon. Baal is related with the Babylonian system. Any lineage of the Babylonian system is dealt with during this chapter. Baal and the dragon. The dragon must win. This means China must be acquainted with the holy instructions. China is the dragon. The dragon then later leads the market, obviously. But until the main engine of the system starts, the dragon must then hire Baal for the filtering of the Baalian system, a person might say, those countries related with the Baal lineage. We understand Christianity is a form of Baal system. Our regular calendar from the Gregorian calendar is formed from a Baal system. It's a Babylonian system. Christianity's tradition is from Babylonian tradition. Not only because you believe there is a Messiah or a Savior cleans the rest of it. No. Either you understand tabernacling and you are saved, or you are not saved. It is very simple. So then, Baal and the dragon. So then China, being smart, what they have to do simply is then hire the Soviet Union as the planner. Problem solved. As far as we can understand, the entire Baal system of the world is dealt with the kingdom of the north. Only filters through when plans are then solid. Then goes to the dragon, because the dragon, there is no BS with the dragon. It is a precision system. It's a precise system where then plans goes through, gets done, move to the next. This is what it means, the dragon. System of precision. There is no more wallowing around with Balian system. That's why America is wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around. We can ever find a way out of our problems. If you don't admit as an American that our country is simply wallowing around, then either you are living in a cave or plain retarded. There is no other solution other than understanding America is wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around, expecting another result, yet doing the same actions as in the past. If you are part of a system that does not work, you have to understand the whole instructions. So then we understand we are in Soviet time. What it takes at the moment is then understanding. The Soviet Union provides China with a crude and natural gas pipeline from Soviet Union to China, or similar. In exchange, China leaves then the planning in the hands of Mr. Putin. He is the king of the Northern Kingdom. Thus we understand then Baal and dragon. So this section is covered. Then you understand the kingdom of the east, always protected, as then obviously a person with a great management understanding protects the factory. So then you have China, the factory protected. Then you understand the manager, kingdom of the north, simply searching through the projects from the Balian system, other countries, where then after a deal is solidly made, then is forward to the dragon. So we are during the time of the dragon as far as restoration period, Gentile level. But there is then the engine of the system that must be started. Because the world has come out of 1,000 years of deceit. Most of this deceit came from the Balian system. System of Babylon. Babylonian system. Baal was the god of the Babylonians. So then filters through the north and then goes to the east. So then as far as we can understand as the relationship with countries, understanding growth, understanding then prosperity, understanding then plans and projects must flow through the northern kingdom. Thus then there is a very understandable scripture delineation of then Daniel the prophet explaining Baal and the dragon. Then we understand the engine of the system, north, east, and south. As was explained before, African continent has only an option, and only an option. If they want to improve their lives, they must trust the northern kingdom. Simply a factor. They provide the African continent with heavy-duty equipment. They mine, they transport to the port, it gets loaded in ships, and then on their way. Simple as ABC. There is no other option. As far as America is concerned, wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around. There was a situation over there, the incident in Boston. You can compare a couple of farts. No more than a couple of farts. If you talk with the old folks from the Second World War, the old GIs, you know what they would say? Those don't even consider it as a fart. What the boys went through during the Second World War doesn't even compare. So we are over-sensationalizing ourselves. Maybe we don't understand the word sensationalism. You know, being sensational. You take a fart of a pan or a stove pan that exploded and makes into an atomic bomb. You know what this means? Sensationalism. And when a government goes beyond what they should to make a novel out of it, it is absolutely clear. The U.S. government, being competent as it is, it makes huge big deals out of tiny situations. Those 2 bombs in Boston were 2 farts. Few people got destroyed. Unfortunate. A lot of them got injured. Understandable. But we have another problem related with taxation. If we don't get taxation as per then the planets coming in the future, the whole country in quotes is going to explode. But then our government is ignorant. Our government was founded from Babylonian system for the most part. Babylonian system. We don't understand yet the power of the dragon, and we don't understand the holy instructions. And because of 2 farts over there in Boston, then the whole government is and was they expecting to become heroes again, as if we were in a combat of Midway. Sensationalism, ridiculous sensationalism. Ask a soldier from the Second World War, what do you think of the Boston? That was a couple of farts. These people don't even know what a combat is. I was in the army myself for quite some time. Now the leadership of our country, because it's so weak, got no knowledge of the military, got no knowledge of industry, wallowing around, wallowing around, wallowing around. First it was sequestration, second was shut down the government, third was NRA. NRA was a blunt. Then you find the very leadership of the United States against NRA, an army auxiliary. How far ridiculous can the government go? There is a situation of not having knowledge. Those are compensated with studies. But then when a person has a position of responsibility and act as an idiot, then you begin to wonder, is that worth living in this country? And then with disdain what IMF has stated, then further danger. Then comes another fart over there in Texas. A town over there of the West. Another fart, a third fart. And then the country gets wild up, and then, you know, increases the sensationalism. And the objective, laid aside. The Messiah said, and the freighters of the earth coming in the future, we must start taxing parcels. Every time a label is generated from anywhere where there is retail, every time a label is printed, description, price, taxes instantly, we are neglecting our duties. And we get ourselves sensationalized because of a few farts. This country was founded mostly in a Babylonian system. When you begin to understand the holy instructions per the Israelic lineage and in the prophecies, you understand there is tabernacling. Tabernacling is not the same as a Babylonian system. This country, United States, is not incapable. It's badly managed. Understand the distinction. If you place a team over there with understanding, the country works. Because we've got raw materials, we got an active monetary system, and people to do the work. But then when the government becomes a monstrosity, where they have no control of themselves, they are printing money in a criminal level, they are not working in updating the taxation system, the system is coming shortly in the next 36 months. IMF already warned, if you continue with this printing of money, it would last 5 years, 2 years ago. So let's try to understand and not be sensationalized with the government's novels. We are awaiting for Mr. Putin's decisions. That's where we are at. Mr. Putin, he holds the forward motion. Read the instructions. We in America, we are not producing. There is barely no production. But to watch the government printing money is absolutely criminal. It became a monstrosity of government, can't be managed. And don't blame the creator, because the creator, he knew these situations. Oh no, he did not. There was no reason for it. The instructions were given. Tabernacling was shown. In no time place the name of the Creator in any of it. He's absolutely clean, clear of any blame. Our only hope of salvation is tabernacling. No tabernacling, no salvation. If any of us, we die today, we go straight down to the inferno. Because there is no tabernacling. The Messiah said, whatsoever Moses told you to do and observe this, do and observe, he told his people, they set apart. Whatsoever Moses taught should be kept. Then the Messiah said, go therefore around the world and form holy cities. The authority was given to him in heaven and the earth. Go therefore around the world and form holy cities. The Messiah became in charge of the Holy of Holies. Where is the Holy of Holies? Do we have tabernacling? No, the world is lost. I don't care if you are a Jew or somebody else or an Hindu or from any country you are. If you die without tabernacling, you go straight down to the inferno. No tabernacling, no salvation. There is no exception. More than 1,000 years, every person that died during these 1,000 years plus went straight down to the inferno. They are in torment. No tabernacling, no salvation. There is a stream of life that comes straight from the Creator. It should be going through the Holy of Holies. It's open in the world. However, those people receiving those without deserving, upon their deaths, they go down to the inferno. There is no exception in this situation. No tabernacling, no salvation. If you are pastor, somebody else, or your prophet, or even your father, or whoever the heck is. Oh, because if you do this, you are saved. You are not saved. No tabernacling, no salvation. Understand? You hear these pastors, teachers, and evangelists, those people are from the Babylonian lineage. They are from the Baal system. No tabernacling, no salvation. You write it down precisely. When you die, straight down to the first death. Chamber of torment until the earth is ablaze. Second death, then the first death, where you are going to encounter your soul in, is going to be thrown in this world ablaze, and then it's finished. No tabernacling, no salvation. The Messiah said precisely, whatsoever Moses told you to do and observe, these do and observe. The Messiah said, remain intact, because the Messiah was taking over the Holy of Holies. Continuum. Do you want salvation? You must do one tabernacling. If you are receiving life from the world without tabernacling, you are from the Baal stealing system. Upon your death, straight down to the first death's chamber. I don't care who you are. If you are a royal from London, if you are the president of this country, or somebody else. Each of us, no exception. If we die without tabernacling, first chamber's torment. So let's make sure we understand.